All right. I'm back from a long weekend. A lot of drinking, a lot of eating, a lot of dancing, a lot of catching up with old friends, and a surprising amount of self reflection. And I think the biggest takeaway that really came to me today as I was driving back with a few friends was that energy is so crucial. Energy is the fundamental unit of measurement, it's the fundamental currency of life. And I realized this because I was so deprived of energy this weekend. Going out and doing all these things, seeing all these people, having some great conversations and some tedious conversations and everything in between. The standard making appearances at a social gathering, especially with people that I haven't seen in a long time, is always pretty exhausting for me. And because of that, and in addition to the drinking and everything else, expending all this energy, I didn't have the opportunity to recharge, to replenish that energy. And there was little things that I did. I slept more. I ate a lot. I went on my daily runs. I spent some time alone reading and writing, and even just scrolling social media. These things replenished my energy a little bit, but the balance was off because I noticed as we were driving back up from Santa Barbara, I was exhausted. And I still am pretty tired, but I spent the past 2 or 3 hours focusing on just recharging. It's 8:05 p.m. right now. The sun is setting in the background, and I do feel a lot better than I did just a couple hours ago. And it's because I prioritized three things, the three things that I realized were sort of the foundational pillars of energy. And that starts with physical energy. And I'll go into different types of energy, but I'll just start with physical energy. And to me, there's three pillars, there's three core elements of physical energy, and that's sleep, eating, and movement. Diet, sleep, exercise. And so sleep is a big one for me. I need my sleep. If I don't have like 8 or 9 hours of sleep a night, I'm going to be grumpy the whole day. I'm going to be feeling like I'm in a deficit, feeling like I'm low energy and I'm lacking any will or drive to do anything. I have a very sleepy energy about me. I'm chronically pretty tired and pretty stressed, so there might be something going on physiologically that's the reason why I need so much sleep. But that's the first one. And so I ended up taking a nap in the car as one of my buddies was driving. It was like a 6-hour drive, so got some sleep, caught up there. The second one is food. You gotta have food in you because that's energy, right? Caloric energy. It's what we all operate on. You gotta eat or you're gonna die. So we got some lunch, some burritos. That recharged me. And then when I got home, I felt both antsy and just sort of drained at the same time. And I realized that a lot of people don't have a good relationship with exercise and with movement. But the core thing is to do enough that it feels fun and that you feel like you can do more. And not every day has to be like this. There are certainly days where I think it's good to push yourself, and there's certainly days where I definitely push myself several times a week. But I tend to trend in the opposite direction where I'm constantly pushing myself, constantly trying to push my limits, set a new PR, a new max, really stretch myself and work harder and harder and harder. And if you have that same tendency, it's really easy to burn out. Or if you don't burn out, you just hit plateaus and you're constantly tired and stressed from the physical stress on your body, because you don't give yourself the time to recover, and you don't give your mind time to recover either, because if you're constantly pushing it to your max, it's like that doesn't actually make you as strong as people think, because you can only tolerate so much stress. Like your mind needs time to recover as much as your body does. Otherwise, it's just this constant, like maybe 80% you're gonna be capped at, versus undulating. You know, going high intensity, low intensity, high intensity, giving yourself time to work in cycles instead of just go 24/7. So, yeah, lately I've been putting more intentionality behind having fun, doing lighter exercise um, between my harder days. And that's been really phenomenal. It's helped me get back into running. I've always hated running and preferred sprinting because it's, shorter bursts and longer rests. But as I'm coming back and doing really slow running, like almost comedically slow, it's felt quite amazing on my body because it's not taxing the next day, and I don't feel absolutely drained and out of breath when I'm done. I feel, right now I just went on a 15-minute run and I feel amazing. It's 8 p.m. I feel great. I feel energized, the blood's flowing, the oxygen's flowing, and that, I think, should be the baseline, the foundation for every new day. And I normally do my runs in the mornings, but because today was sort of a driving day and leaving our kind of gathering, I did it at 6 p.m. instead of in the morning. But I just wanted to talk about these sort of pillars of physical energy, because that is the basis for everything that you do in your life. It's like, if you're going to take action, right, this is like basic physics. If you're going to do things, if you're going to move your body, if you're going to use your mind, you need energy for that. And if you don't prioritize that, and if you think of energy as a currency in the same way that money is, if you don't save more than you spend, you're going to run out of energy, whether that's over the course of the day or over time. Literally what burnout is on a day-to-day basis, on average, you're spending more energy than you're replenishing or earning or saving. And then once your balance goes to zero, you start getting the negatives, and that's where it really hits you. And the outcome of that is not good. I've experienced that in door-to-door sales, because it's just such an intense environment over the course of a summer, 3 months, working 60-hour weeks, knocking 100 doors a day. If you don't get your energy dialed, if you don't conserve it during the day well, and if you don't replenish it during the night well, it's not going to look well for you. It's not going to end well for you. And I went through a lot of ups and downs with that, and I had to do a lot of experimenting and learning and figuring out what my body needs. And noticing how much of an impact on me it had negatively if I didn't prioritize energy, for me to realize how crucial this was. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. More than anything, a reminder to myself, a lesson to myself that I'll continue learning, I'm sure. But yeah, feels good to be back home. It's a bit of a crazy weekend. Sort of put all my responsibilities aside for like 3 days, so it's good to be back. I've been thinking about the things I want to work on and getting back into it. I've an interview coming up on Wednesday morning, so next couple days we'll really just be preparing for that. And that's all for now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.